Hi guys, this is Karan this side. So today we'll solve the problem number 202 of LeetCode, happy numbers. So what does a happy number says that write an algorithm to determine the number n is happy. A funny name. A happy number is a number defined by the following process. Starting from the positive integer, replace the number by the sum of the squares and repeat the process until the numbers equals to 1. So where it will stay or it loops endlessly in the cycle which does not include 1. Those numbers for which the process ends in 1 are happy, otherwise they are not. So what does this question says? For example, if I say the number n as an input 19, so we'll take the squares of each integer present in that number, like 1 and 9. 1 square plus 9 square is 82, like 1 plus 81 82. Similarly, we'll take the squares of that numbers too. 8 square plus 2 square, that is 68. Similarly, we'll take another loop, 6 square plus 8 square equal 100, and then we take the squares of the numbers of 100, that is 1 square, 0 square, 0 square, that is 1. Now whenever we return we get an answer 1 at the end or any time, we'll just return true, otherwise we have to return false, that it's not a happy number. If we get an answer as 1 at any time from squaring its numbers, we'll return true, otherwise false. So in this what we could do is, like, at any time we know that we have to like run the loop of squaring each time the numbers to squares to each time. So basically we have to run two loops, one inside another, and one thing we will, and we know that it might sometime it could loop endlessly. So when it could loop endlessly, if the number repeat itself, for example, if I say at any point if I get 82 again, it will again become 6800 and it will loop again and again on the same numbers. So at that point what we could do is, like, we could just find the squares and store it in our hash map, right? So we'll just create an unordered map for the say unordered set, sorry, because we'll just store the number of the square number of the question, and if it comes again, like if it is present again in the unordered set, we'll simply return that it is not a happy number, it is a false, because it is looping endlessly in the cycle. And next we'll create integer num. If we, what we'll do, we'll just create inside the loop only while num is not equal to 1. Whenever we'll become 1, we'll return true, num not n. Now we'll take a integer num to find out its square. Integer will take int, not integer, will take long, because at any point it might overflow, because if I get a int max into int max, because we have to find the squares, so we'll take long num equals to 0. And as we know that we have to find square of each number, so we'll just simply find square by dividing the numbers by 10 and multiplying it by itself, n not equal to 0. So int digit equals to n percentile 10 will give us the last digit, and that digit will store in our num by multiplying that digit with itself, so that we can get its square. And simply we'll just divide n by 10, so that in next loop we'll get the another number, and this is how we'll get the square in stored in this number num. So now as we know that we have stored the num, now we'll simply find it in our set if s dot find num not equal to s dot end, will simply return the false, and we'll insert the number for in our set also for the next loop. And one more thing we'll do, we'll take n is equal to num. Because why we are taking n is equal to num, as we know that in the next loop we have to square the answer of the question, like the 1 square plus 9 square was 82. So in the next loop we have to square 82, like 8 square into plus 2 square. So we'll simply do n is equal to num, and if at any time n becomes 1, we'll just return true. So it's a happy number, or else it's a not happy number, it will return false. So you can see the test cases are passing, and it's passing 100%. So what does the happy numbers in this, what are we doing? We are just creating a unordered set to find out if it is looping endlessly or not. And if at any time the numbers, like the square of the number becomes equal to 1, we'll just return true outside the loop. Otherwise we are just checking the squares of each number, and as we know that it might take n square of time complexity, because it will loop for each number n times. So this is all about happy numbers. Thank you.